What's up? We're gonna go ahead and just go live now. Obviously, we're not going live. All right, I need everybody on cameras. So Ahmad, head down to 3. Josh, head down to 2. Deshaun, you'll hang out back here until we get. Oh, hit master. That button, the one that's on, yeah.
Welcome to Capital University, in which we have a matchup tonight, a girls' high school district final matchup between the Hartley Hawks and the Jonathan Alder Pioneers. As we take a look at this matchup, both teams had easy victories leading into this final, with the average win in double digits for each team. Candace, how do you see the matchup tonight?
This is, like you said, this is their first tough matchup. They're evenly matched. I believe that the Hawks are ranked second, and Jonathan Alder is ranked fourth in the region. And like you said, they had 2 blowout wins in their first 2 sectional matchups. They should expect to be a very, very, very exciting matchup, evenly matched, like I said. And hopefully we see a really good game. I guess for each of these teams, this is when the tournament starts. The first 2, I mean, we're talking 60-point wins, and now it's win or go home.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Obviously, there's a really decent sized individual for Hartley in Eloise Brandaway. She stands at 6'3", and she'll be a tough matchup in the post. How do you see Jonathan Alder matching up with her?
Well, I talked to Jonathan Alder's coach before the game, and he said Heisler, their senior, will be the one that gets physical with Brandaway. That was their plan, is to get physical, prevent second chance points. But their plan was to always put a body on her and be very, very physical, get her out the paint. So Heisler needs to do that because that's a 6'3" frame and lengthy. So I expect that to be a great matchup.
Excellent. Well, there you go. There you go, folks. That's keys to. There's some keys to the game here, and as we get ready for tip-off here, get ready to enjoy the game, folks. This basketball game between the Bishop Hartley High School and Jonathan Alder High School is being broadcast through the cooperation of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. The Ohio High School Athletic Association is a voluntary, nonprofit educational organization through which member schools work cooperatively to adopt the standards and regulations that guide their interscholastic activities. The upholding of these standards and the adherence to these regulations helps to provide more wholesome and educational worthwhile activities for student athletes grades 7 through 12. The schools participating in this contest consider interscholastic athletics an integral part of the education program, and primarily for the purpose of making better men and women out of their students. Unless it accomplishes this, it cannot be justified in the high school program. Tonight's tournament game is one of many being played throughout the state, leading to the state championship. The Ohio High School Athletic Association reserves all broadcasting rights to postseason tournament games. So as we turn our attention to this game, Candace,
which team do we want to talk about first?
Yeah, which team do we want to talk about first?
I say let's talk about Alder, since Hartley is getting introduced real quick, and we had a pause on theirs. The big-time player for Alder is Mary Federito. She averages 19 points a game, and against Whitehall in the sectional final, she had 35 points. She's the big player for them. She can light it up from 3. She has a nice mid-range. She can take it aggressively to the basket. I talked to Hartley's coach before the game, and he's given that defensive assignment to Lexi Cashwell, his senior. He's expecting her to body her up for a majority of the game to stop her, but she's the engine that makes Alder go.
The interesting thing about Jonathan Alder is they have several players. It seems like they go 6 deep. So they don't play a lot of players. Their starters play a lot of minutes.
Yeah, that could bear some kind of issue, but this is tournament time. Everybody's ready to go. So if you have 6, you go with 6.
There you go. So as we get ready to start this tip-off here, but it looks like Brandewee and Ferrarito are taking the jump with the Hartley Hawks winning the tip. They take it over the timeline. And McElrath at the top over to Cashwell. They're running a weave at the top of the key, as you could tell.
And my X factor, after seeing Hartley play a couple of games this season, is Bella Parker. She's one of the smallest players on the floor. If she can light it up from the outside, Hartley has a good chance to win.
There you go. And Kiki for Hartley drove, and she got blocked. Good defensive play there by Jonathan Alder as they looked to inbound it underneath the bucket. They walk it up the court. Look to take a screen at the top of the key. Hooley's got the ball into the post to Ferrarito. Knocked away, ball out of bounds to Jonathan Alder.
As you said before the game, there is a height advantage for Hartley, and it does appear just look-wise that height is playing. It's causing some issues to start, but we'll see what Alder can do to break down this defense a little bit.
Here's Ferrarito. She's on the drive down the right wing and laid it up and in. Easy 2 there, Candace.
Yeah, and Federito, what can you say? She's the player that's going to put up all the shots. And somebody, you can't let her get to the hole. She took it very aggressively to that right side for a layup. So they're going to have to put a body in front of her.
There was a shot there by Cashwell with the left hand. Off the rim and missed. Rebound Jonathan Alder as they take it across the timeline.
And that was a good shot to me for Lexi Cashwell. Their coach wanted her to be offensively be aggressive.
There's a steal by Hartley, and that is
Bella Parker.
Bella Parker. Excuse me as I learned these names there tonight. There's a turnover. And Jonathan Alder looks to push.
And Federito got a block against Kiki McElrath as well. So now, early part of this game, she's making her mark on the offensive and defensive end.
Yeah, not only did she get the steal, she took it coast to coast for a layup, and she's got a quick 4, and it's 4-0 here. Early first quarter, Jonathan Alder with the early lead.
And those of you watching, Mary Ferrito is the one with the bright pink shoes. So you'll be able to keep track of her.
Here's an open 3 for Hartley, missed from the top, from the wing. That was Parker with the miss.
That was a good shot by Parker. She was wide open. As I said previously, she's going to need to knock down those shots. She's a streaky shooter, but to me, she's like the heart, the energy of this team. If she gets to going and running and knocking down threes, Hartley is a tough team to beat.
And Ferrarito takes it over the timeline for Jonathan Alder as they run their offense. As you sit and look here, it looks like Alder is really trying to get her started, and she does have 4. She had a nice look at a 3 and missed that. Here's Hartley back on offense. Cashwell, the foul line extended.
And Hartley on the offensive, they
go into Brandewee. Brandewee, she had a nice shot on the block, missed. Rebound Jonathan Alder.
And that was the first time getting the ball down to Brandewie, and that's what they're going to have to do so she can impose her will. They've put Ferrito on Kiki McElrath, and Kiki is the leading scorer for Hartley. She averages around 18 points a game, and if she's not going to get a bucket for them, Brandewie is going to have to be aggressive.
Well, there's Ferrito at the block. There was good defense there by Hartley as they blocked that shot and took it in transition. There's a 3 in transition, and that's Kiki McElrath for 3, and it's 4-3 with 4.5 left here in the first quarter. Jonathan Alder with a 1-point lead. Quick 3 taken by Jonathan Alder, and that was Plattfoot. Here comes Hartley on the run.
There's Kiki
Cashman
calling for the ball on the wing.
Brandewie on the looking to clean up. There's another rebound. A couple offensive rebounds there by Hartley as they look to push.
I think Kiki was looking for a heat check. She was wide open on the corner. As you see on the replay, there's Kiki knocking down her first 3-pointer. Nobody in her vicinity, and was able to stroke it. She had another open shot on the opposite corner, but her teammates missed her on that one.
Took it into Cashman. Cashman on the left wing. There's a drive on the baseline by Parker. The shot by Cashman missed. And then a turnover. Here comes Hartley. 2-on-0 net break. And layups up and good by Cashman off the turnover. And in the home team, the Hartley Hawks have a 5-4 lead here with 3:37 to go in the first period.
And it can't be stated enough, Lexi Cashwell, she was one of those X factors for Hartley. Her coach expects her to play big. She's their captain defensively, and as you see, she was a part of this steal.
There's a turnover based on a trap, and that's laid up and in by Bella Parker. So Hartley's extending their defense, and it's caused some easy buckets there, Candace.
Yeah, and as you can see, Lexi, who's charged to guard Mary, is up on her. She's going to be guarding her full court. She needs to stay on her, though.
Yeah, Ferrito seems to be able to get into the lane at will. She got a rebound again, and she gets an and one. Ferrito has basically she's got all 6 of Jonathan Alder's points, and she is very aggressive here in the first quarter.
And that's the term that nearly everyone, if you look online and any scouting report you have against Ferrito, is that she's aggressive. She plays hard. It was said she works, she pre-games hard. And the layup line, she works harder than anybody else. And as you can see during this game, she's just supremely aggressive. Even if she missed a couple of bunnies there, but she was able to get her own rebound and get an and one. She's very physical and very aggressive.
Yeah, she hits that free throw to complete the 3-point play, and we're all tied up here at 7 in the first quarter with 2:45 to go. Hartley looking to run a pick and roll with Brandewie, who draws the foul, and she'll go to the line for 2.
Hartley's going to have to do more of this here. Get Brandewie moving, get her open. Obviously, there's no one that compete with her height advantage. I wish she'd get her shoulders square to the basket so that way, she could get a better look for an and one. But if they can't get her the ball just in a post up, running them a pick and roll is their best bet.
Yeah, and Brandewie hits the first free throw, and it's now 8-7 with 2:42 to go here in the first period. Hartley by 1. Her second up and no good. Rebound, Jonathan Alder. And they give it over to Mary Ferrarito. Passes it up. A baseline shot up and good by number 5, Katie Hooley, for Jonathan Alder, and it's 9-8 Pioneers.
Starting out, I mean, there's no complaints with either team. They missed some shots. They made some shots. They're both being aggressive. And as Kiki showed, she tried to take one off the three off the dribble.
Yeah, Brandewie with the cleaning up. There's a third possession based on offensive rebounds. There's a drive by Hartley. Miss, no good. Hustle, rebound pushed around, knocked around, taken by Jonathan Alder as they look to push. Here's Mary Ferrarito to the wing. Over to Plattfoot, turnover. Here comes Hartley on a 2-on-1 break. Looks to feed Brandewie, knocked away, and turnover. Way to get back on defense by the Pioneers.
Yes, great thought process by number 11 here, but a bit too late. You want to get that pass off early, and plus you have to be, you have to have that presence of mind. There's 2 players in front of Brandewie. Just go ahead and take it up strong on the right side.
Ania Thorne checks in for Hartley as the first substitute of the game. As Jonathan Alder looks to walk it up here with a 1-point lead, 9-8 here with a minute and a half to go in the first period. I mean, what I like here, Candace, is Ferrarito she can handle it at the top of the key. For a girl that's 5'10", she's got some dribble. She can take you off the dribble. She can post up. What I'm noticing early on is she's quite versatile.
She is, and on the defensive side, what I've noticed is they're throwing, not only are they throwing Cashwell on Frito, they're throwing McElrath and Bella Parker. So with all of her versatility, they're putting enough defenders in her to give her different looks.
There's a turnover. That's Ferrarito on the steal. Up the floor in transition. Jonathan Alder looks to lay it up and in. And that is number 5, Katie Hooley with the lay-in off the turnover. And it's 11-8 with under a minute to go here in the first period. Jonathan Alder with an early 3-point lead. Cashwell on the baseline beats her man and lays it up and in with the left hand.
And
11-10.
And once again, that's what the coach expects Cashwell to do. They're going to need her to be aggressive. With Frito guarding McElrath, Cashwell is going to have to be aggressive on the offensive side.
Well, that's what you want from your senior. And there you go. You got Ferrarito in the post. Easy 2.
Now that can't happen. I truly like Bella Parker and her activity guarding Ferrito above the 3-point line, down in the post. You're going to have to get a bigger player on her.
Here's Kiki for 3. Oh, good shot, but rimming no, and rebound Jonathan Alder. And so after 1 period of play, it's Jonathan Alder 13, the Hartley Hawks 10. And we'll be back here on the Score on Air Network. The Ohio Media School would like to thank you for tuning into today's broadcast. If you'd like to learn more about how you could start your sports broadcasting career today, visit beonair.com/Columbus or call us at 614-655-5250. The Ohio Media School. Learn from a pro to be a pro.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a
Come back here, second quarter of play. It's getting a little bit more physical. It's Ella Brandewie under the rim, a couple offensive rebounds and draws a foul, Candace.
Yeah, her activity is really great. She's having a bit of difficulty getting the ball in the basket to start out the game, but you can't knock her being aggressive and taking it up against 3 or 4 defenders.
And she has 2 free throws, and the first one's up and good for Eloise.
But on the offensive end, I expect Hartley, I think they should move the ball a little bit more. They're taking a lot of one-on-one action and dribbling. We saw the one pick and roll. If they can incorporate that more, I think they will have more success on the offensive side. But it seems as if they're just a tad bit stagnant, especially when they have such a height advantage.
But she happens to miss the first. She misses the second one, and Mary Ferrarito with the rebound brings it up for Jonathan Alder as they look to set their offense at the top of the key. There's a drive, and a wild shot taken. Loose ball up. Recovered by Jonathan Alder, and Reagan Gray draws a foul, and she'll go to the line for 2.
And the interesting part about Alder coming into the second quarter, Gray could be just the third player who will put points on the board for Alder's team. The Pioneers have relied heavy on Ferrito and Katie Hooley, who obviously can shoot and has a nice mid-range game, but Alder's going to need one more player. If they can keep Ferrito playing well and Hooley knocking down shots, I think they're going to need one more player to ensure that they can keep up on the offensive side, but it was just two players doing all the damage.
She made the first one up for the second. She makes both of those. So Reagan Gray hits 2 free throws, and here comes Hartley down 4 with 7:22 left in the first half. Brandaway at the top. They look at nice back cut there, and she feeds. Looks like that's Cashman.
Cashwell, yeah, that was a great offensive play. Excellent.
Yeah, that was off a back screen. That was clearly a set play. Hartley looking to extend the defense. Get it into Ferrito. Kicks it back out to the wing. Here's a drive and kick. Oh, there's a 3-point shot. Airball by Reagan Gray. And out of bounds to Hartley.
It looked like Hartley had some defensive strategy change. They said one player isn't going to beat us. So every time Ferrito, if she's cutting underneath the basket, if she's cutting to come get the ball, as you see in the first quarter, she was kind of starting out with the ball at the top of the key. They're taking the ball out of her hands and making the other 4 players moving around to try to beat them. So I like that change in strategy. Don't let Ferrito, as you can see, she can pull up, she can shoot, she can drive. Take the ball out of her hands and make the other 4 players beat you.
That's a very good strategy, and if you noticed, Hartley is extending their defense just past half court, and it's caused problems for Jonathan Alder, and they've been able to get some a few transition buckets as a result of that, definitely in the first quarter.
Yeah, so, and they probably should do a full court press. I like what I'm saying from Alder, but at the same time, I'm not necessarily confident if they can break a full court press. So if they move everything forward and just put that pressure in the front court, I would see what kind of damage Hartley can do in the second quarter if they extended their defense even further.
Well, it's clear that Hartley's having a matchup issue with Ferrito, and she can bring the ball up on her own. It doesn't look like anybody seems to be able to stop her, and so maybe that's a Hartley drawback, and maybe they'll go to a full court press after a made bucket. They don't see them on a transition. There's Ella Brandaway at the foul line extended. Here's a drive by Hartley. Rebound Brandaway. So it looks like she's called for an over the back. And Hartley had a nice drive to the bucket. Unfortunately, the shot was missed.
That was a nice box out. But sometimes there's just a penalty for being tall. When you can physically just reach over somebody, obviously they're going to call an over the back call. And I think she got away with, they got away with one on that one.
Well, one of the things that when you're undersized is to do the fundamentals of boxing out. And by doing so, you can draw some fouls just like that over the back foul on Brandaway. So here's Jonathan Alder at the top of the key with Ferrito looking to set the offense. They go with a wing 3, and it's made by Jonathan Alder, and that's number 11, Evan Plattfoot, with her first bucket, and it's 18-13 with 5:43 to go here in the first half. The Pioneers with a 5-point lead.
And Evan Plattfoot is their second leading scorer, and we haven't called her number to start this game, so her knocking down a 3-pointer would bode well for the Pioneers.
Yeah, she's the only other one in double digits for the season for Jonathan Alder, averaging just over 10. Hartley looks to get it into Brandaway. Nice post move up, and she couldn't finish it. Rebound Jonathan Alder. And there you go, Candace. There's a little token press here by the Hartley Hawks. They did get it over the timeline.
And
there's a skip pass. And there's another three. That's also Evan Plattfoot. Back-to-back three-pointers by her, and it's a 21-13 lead with 4:55 left here in the first half.
A wide open three-pointer at that. And so if you're going to press, you have to make sure you get back on defense fairly quickly. And I think Alder is just a couple of steps ahead of Hartley right now.
There's Kiki with the three, and she knocks it down. That was a tough shot. There was good defense by Jonathan Alder, but she was able to knock it down.
And while they're going in for Kiki, I would love to see her take the ball to the basket and try to get Mary Frito in foul trouble. They've been, I think the Hartley offense being a bit stagnant is that Kiki isn't a primary factor, and that's because she's being guarded by Mary. She's knocked down 2 tough three-pointers, so hopefully she can get her on her heels a little bit.
Yep, so here's Hartley working it around the key. There's Kiki on the drive, but she's drawn a foul. She'll go to the line for 2. 21-16, 4:19 left here in the second quarter. The Jonathan Alder Pioneers with a 5-point lead.
And a little bit about Kiki. She's a junior, and obviously the coach is going to be really excited about having her back. The very last game against Lincoln Valley, she had 28 points, 3 steals, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. So she filled up the box score. So she can be the engine as well to get it moving. So I'm expecting her to get a little bit more push to cut a little bit into this lead and not let it get too far away.
And she makes both free throws. And so that 8-point lead has now been cut to 3. Little pressure here by Hartley as Jonathan Alder brings it up over the timeline. Ferrarito on the wing. There's another 3 that looked like a heat check there by Plattfoot. Air ball, rebound by Hartley as they look to push.
There's nothing.
And unfortunately, there's a unforced turnover there by Hartley.
There's nothing wrong with a little heat check.
I guess it depends upon where you are in the game.
Yeah, they need other scores, and if Plattfoot is going to knock some down, hey, shoot them. Everybody has a green light.
So Jonathan Alder working to the top of the key. It looks as if Hartley's in his zone. Looks like they got a zone going. And there's a jump shot. Is that Plattfoot again? Yes, she scored 8 here in the second period. And what I've noticed, Candace, is that zone is to kind of neutralize Ferrarito. And you asked for one other person to step up, and it looks like that's Plattfoot for Jonathan Alder.
They may be running the zone, but it's man-to-man on Ferrarito. She has a player in front of her wherever she is on the court.
Hartley looks to work it across the top of the key. Brandaway looking for somebody. There's Kiki on the cut. She looks to take a shot. Rimming around and good. It's a nice cut by Kiki. She puts it in and it's 23-20. Here we have a timeout. Kiki has 10 points for Hartley.
And as you can see on the replay, just a small fadeaway off 1 foot. She got the basket to go. Crank it up a little bit more, Kiki. Just turn it up to like a 9. I don't think, in terms of quickness, I don't think another player can keep up with her on the floor, and she obviously has enough tenacity to shoot it from 3. She can make tough shots in the paint. She's a good free throw shooter as well, so I expect Kiki, I wanted to turn it up just a little bit.
TT Murphs is a proud supporter of Bishop Hartley High School and is proud to sponsor today's game by providing the crew with food. Make sure you check them out. Mondays for half-price pizza. TT Murphs is located at 2996 East Livingston in Columbus, Ohio. You can visit them online at ttmurphs.com or call them at 614-231-2996. As we come out of this break here, it's Jonathan Alder looking to inbounds, and there you go, Candace. You called for a full-court press, and Hartley is looking to press them. So it looks like as if Jonathan Alder is able to break that without much issue.
They're just halting them a little bit.
But you know what? Just as I speak, they trap Plattfoot, and she had a little problem, and the ball's tipped out of bounds.
They're slowing it. They're pressing. If Mary gets the ball, they pull it back, and then the next player that gets it, you got 2 players coming at you.
There's Plattfoot at the top of the key, looking to run the offense for Jonathan Alder, or to Ferrarito. Back to Ferrarito. She takes a 3. Yeah, rimming, no. Here comes Hartley. Hartley looking to push here with Kiki. Jonathan Alder sets their defense. Kiki all the way down. Kind of a wild shot. Rebound Jonathan Alder. They look to push with Ferrarito. She goes coast to coast, and she is called for a foul.
On one end, I wasn't mad at that take by Kiki. On this end, jump stop, floater. That's the shot for Mary right there, but great positioning by Bella Parker, who's obviously their pesky guard who can get inside your jersey. So great defensive play by her, but Mary just throw a little floater right there.
There you go. It's 23-20, 2 minutes left here in the first half. And Jonathan Alder's pressure caused a turnover, and they will get the ball back with a 3-point lead. 2 minutes, 2 seconds left here in the second period.
And as you see, they're in the front court.
So Jonathan Alder brings
pull back
it in.
A little bit.
There's Plattfoot looking across the timeline. She does. She looks to drive here in the left wing. Miss Ferrarito. Oh, she's blocked by Brandewee.
No fear, but not necessarily the best shot.
There's
and another
shot,
block.
Another block, and here comes Hartley on the break. Oh, we got a foul. Foul on the break. That's number 1, Reagan Gray, with the foul for Jonathan Alder. It'll be side out, Hartley Hawks.
And Hartley's coach did talk about the pace of the game, and they wanted to control it. I think now, starting in that second quarter, they're controlling more of the pace. The first half was nearly, and to me, it was nearly all Alder. But now, Hartley is kind of imposing their will a little bit. They're still down, but their pace is matching how they need to play.
There's Brandewee with the rebound off a Cashwell drive miss. And she'll draw a foul and go to the line for 2. Minute 27 here left in the first half. 23-20, Jonathan Alder. They pretty much kept the lead most of this game.
Yeah, and the thing with Hartley, too, they're going to have to knock down shots. Kiki has 10 points, and you have a couple of players just with 2. So the expectation now is just for them to be able to make some baskets. So hopefully a couple of players will see the ball go in, and some of these baskets can start flowing. But that's the only thing preventing them from fully taking over this game.
There you go. And Brandewee knocks down both free throws. It's a 1-point game, and Hartley looking to press. Jonathan Alder breaks it to Ferrarito. And they'll look to set with 1:13 left here in the first half. There's a 3-point shot by Jonathan Alder, missed. Rebound kicked around. Brandewee picks it up, and Hartley looks to push across the timeline. Less than a minute to go. It's a 23-22 game here at Capital University. There's a drive, but the left hand missed. Rebound kicked around. Oh.
I'm not mad at that. Cashwell has that. She has that drive every time, taking it aggressive to the paint on the left hand. It didn't go, but she's the one that's going to have the favorable matchup. So if she can keep doing that, possibly get fouled and get it to the free throw line, that'll go really, really well. But I want her to keep doing that and keep being aggressive.
Yep, Hartley's got the ball with 47 seconds. They inbound the ball without issue. Here's a cut, blocked by Jonathan Alder. Oh, what what did they call here? Oh, they called a push. So it looks as if there's going to be these 2 shots. So they end up, no, I guess it's a 2-shot foul because neither team is in the bonus. And
so they're in a 1-and-1.
I don't think they're in the bonus yet. I guess they are.
And you got to knock down free throws too.
They missed the front end of a 1-and-1. Here comes Jonathan Alder with Ferrarito. She pulls up from the foul line, no good. Ball tipped around and rebounded by Hartley. And they will get the ball with 28.6 seconds left here in the second quarter.
We called Ferrarito's name a lot in the first quarter, and she's not having a lot of shots go down now. I hate to sound repetitive, but for her, it's the exact same for Kiki. She's going to have to continually be aggressive. I think she deferred just a little bit too much. It's go time now, so it's time for your best players to step up.
Oh, there's Brandaway at the foul line extended. She's looking to pass. Back up to the top of Kiki. Kiki dribbling around. It's kind of a tight quarters. It's a cut. Hartley looks to put it up. No good. That's a missed shot by number 2, Bella Parker. And we've come to the end of the first half where the score is 23-22 with Jonathan Alder with the slimmest of leads. And we'll be back. We'll be back after these messages on the Score on Air Network.
I mean, I don't totally know what opioids are, but I mean, it's not like he's gonna know either. So.
Don't live in denial, Ohio. Talk to your kids about drugs, and they'll be 50% less likely to use them.
Hey, sports fan! Did you know the OHSAA is among the national leaders in social media? Check out the OHSAA's social media platforms for news, tournament information, accomplishments, helpful links, and all the items available in the fan guide, including photos, DVDs, and publications. Check out OHSAA Sports on Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram. And who knows, you may be the next featured face.
Well, yeah, there's some old prescription pills, but my son's a good kid. He's not going to look for them.
2/3 of teens who abuse opioids get them from friends and family. Don't live in denial, Ohio. Dispose of your leftover pills.
If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score on Air Network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
My name's Julian Jackson, and I came to the Ohio Media School in January of 2021 with a dream to go into broadcasting. My experience included intermission reports for OHSAA hockey and a lot of the teams in Central Ohio area.
The Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation is a proud partner with the Ohio Media School and Score on Air Network. The foundation has provided food and other essentials to families in Columbus's Northeast Quadrant since 2018. They've also established the Porter Athletic League, which provides a safe environment for youths 8 to 13 to play sports, study, and work with volunteers from the Columbus Police and Franklin County Sheriff's Departments. For more information, visit lanceandeileenporterfoundation.org today.
Welcome back to the Score on Air Network, where it's halftime here in Game 1 of the district final between the Hartley Hawks and the Jonathan Alder Pioneers. And we had, and with me today is a special guest, Mr. Tom Brandaway, who is the father of Eloise Brandaway. And if you've been following Hartley Hawks, you've run a lot of kids through the programs of both academically and athletically.
Yes, Eloise is my youngest of 4, so yeah, we've had all plethora of sports too, and it's been fabulous. It's a great experience. We had a football player, boys basketball, girls volleyball, cross-country runner, so it's been a great experience at Hartley. Tonight's been kind of frustrating, as a parent, as an ex-basketball player, but, you can't win them all. I mean, I'm not saying we're going to lose, but it's just sometimes, you got to remember you're watching 15, 16, 17-year-old kids, and, when a girl dribbles it off her foot or, a pass hits a girl in the face and goes out of bounds, it's like, come on, one of those things. So,
well,
but no.
I mean, you make reference to the fact as a parent, obviously you played basketball at Ohio State as a player, and, obviously your parents watched you.
Yeah.
Now you've been watching your kids for the last, 15, 16, 17, 18
long
years.
Time, yeah.
Or whatever. And Eloise being your baby, obviously she's a big-time volleyball player, but right now she needs to be focusing on this game. And from what I'm looking at, she's missing a lot of bunnies. Are you not working with her in the driveway?
Oh, she doesn't want to work with me. She don't want to listen to what I have to say. But yeah, she is a volleyball player. We can see by her performance tonight. I'm allowed to make fun of her, of course, and criticize her. But no, it's just in general. I mean, you know, just the program's been great. Yeah, and just watching as a parent, I learned early on, just they only hear your voice usually in the crowd, so it's like just don't say anything. Don't even say anything in the car too much afterwards, or I'll pick little things here and there to say. And I always try to get the game plan beforehand too, so I can make comments about that as well. So you know, it's a good experience.
Well, I'm going to ask you one more question and put on your analytics hat, because I know you've done this in the past. What do you see that needs to happen for the Hartley Hawks to actually pull this off?
Yeah, for us, it's just offensive execution and make those bunnies like you had mentioned. I mean, we're struggling. We're making unforced turnovers. I mean, and when we had talked on the phone yesterday, it's just our lack of execution has really it's been inconsistent, through the end of the year. And so we're witnessing again tonight. I mean, when you only give up 22, 23 points, that's a good defensive effort. It's the offense that's letting us down tonight.
Gotcha. Well, you know what? I know this has been a brief interview, but I appreciate you stopping by here, Mr. Brandewy.
Absolutely.
And enjoy the second half as a dad.
Yeah, good luck to you.
Man.
All right, thank you. Yep.
And we'll be back on the Score on Air Network.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
Hey, sports fan! Did you know the OHSAA is among the national leaders in social media? Check out the OHSAA's social media platforms for news, tournament information, accomplishments, helpful links, and all the items available in the fan guide, including photos, DVDs, and publications. Check out OHSAA Sports on Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram. And who knows, you may be the next featured face.
I mean, I don't totally know what opioids are, but I mean, it's not like he's gonna know either. So.
Don't live in denial, Ohio. Talk to your kids about drugs, and they'll be 50% less likely to use them.
Well, yeah, there's some old prescription pills, but my son's a good kid. He's not gonna look for them.
2/3 of teens who abuse opioids get them from friends and family. Don't live in denial, Ohio. Dispose of your leftover pills.
I just wanted to play.
I just want to play. I just want to play. I just want to play.
Play.
Play. Along the way, I'm learning
Sportsmanship.
sportsmanship, teamwork,
Teamwork.
how to work hard,
How to work hard. Discipline.
hustle,
Sacrifice.
how to be a leader.
Dedication.
I just want to play.
And along the way, I'm learning to put the team before myself.
To put the team before myself. How to be a student.
How to be a student.
I'm learning to set a good example,
How to work hard.
to accept responsibility.
That I represent my community.
That I represent my community. I just wanted to play, and look where it took me.
She's done it! Tiana Bartoletta has done it! From Elyria, Ohio, now an Olympic gold medalist.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Ohio, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The following is a broadcast produced and starring students from the Ohio Media School's Columbus campus and their sports program, Score on Air.
If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score on Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score on Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score on Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
A little trouble, but they got it up to Ferrito.
If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score on Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
As the coach said, he needed her to step up, and she's doing exactly that.
If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score on Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com.
Kiki McElrath took kind of a unorthodox force 3. And then Jonathan Alder back on the other end missed a shot. Here comes Hartley looking to push. Up to Brandewee. Easy 5-footer. Nope.
It's go time now. You got to be ready. Hartley needs to knock down those shots. Perhaps take one little small dribble in and shoot it at the top of the key, not the top of the key, at the post line down there. But Ella's going to have to be ready for those kind of baskets. They have to knock some of these down starting out the second half.
So there was Katie Hooley, who was driving at the top of the key on the right side, and she was fouled out of bounds to Jonathan Alder. So they looked to get it in, almost a turnover, but they did get it in. They looked to set with Plattfoot. She's trapped at the top. Nope, she gets the drive. And that trap actually was effective. Even though she got the drive, she did rush that pass and Hartley forces a turnover.
They're shooting that second player anytime somebody other than Ferrito has the ball. They're shooting that second player to prevent them to have any type of movement. So that's a good strategy on Hartley's part.
Here comes Cashwell again over to Kiki McElrath. She's looking to drive, takes a shot at the top of the foul line. That's a beautiful shot on the pick and pop. And it's 26-25 Hartley. And that full court press has caused a turnover. So Candace, you called this early on in the first half where you thought Hartley should have been pressing, and after a made bucket, they did and forced the turnover.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Alder's team, I think they have two solid ball handlers, but outside of that, and before I leave off that point, and Ferrito has to spend so much effort guarding Kiki McElrath on their side of the floor that she's going to have she's going to have some kind of assistance when taking the ball up. So if Hartley pressures them, they have to rely on probably a ball handler that I don't know if they have. So you have to pass out of the press, and we'll see what Coach Allen comes up with for Alder and the Pioneers to see what they can do to break this press.
The Lance and Aileen Porter Foundation is a proud partner with the Ohio Media School and Score on Air Network. The foundation has provided food and other essentials to families in Columbus's Northeast Quadrant since 2018, and also established the Porter Athletic League, which provides a safe environment for youths 8 to 13 to play sports, study, and work with volunteers from the Columbus Police and Franklin County Sheriffs. For more information, visit lanceandaileenporterfoundation.org today. And as we come out of the timeout, there's 5:47 left here in the third period. 26-25 Hartley. In the Brandewee. Kiki doing some fancy dribbling there at the foul line. Off a Brandewee screen, she looks to drive, and shot missed. And here goes Ferrarito, and Jonathan Alder looks to go in transition. No one picked her up. An easy shot, rimming no, but Brandewee's back to get the rebound for Hartley, and back the other way we go.
That floater by Ferrarito is absolutely perfect. That is what she needs to do. But for her, there's just a lid on the basket right now. She had a field goal to start out the second half. I don't believe she had a field goal in the second quarter. So I suggest taking the ball to the basket and hopefully getting fouled to get to the free throw line. But that was a perfect shot, the little floater in the key.
Oh, but there you go. There's another turnover by Jonathan Alder off the press. Here's Brandewee at the block. Skip pass to the wing. Shot taken, no. Rebound. Out of bounds. Looks like Jonathan Alder will take possession.
And I'm not mad at that shot by Bella Parker. She was my X factor coming into the game. She hasn't been able to knock down too many three-point shots, but they're going to need her to make a couple here in the second half. So, as always, keep shooting.
Yeah. And there's another turnover.
And she's making her presence felt on the other side of the floor.
And looks like Jonathan Alder was able to get back and knock it out of bounds. But that press is causing problems for Jonathan Alder and the Pioneers. Hartley inbound the ball, 4:48 left here in the third period, 26-25. The Hawks. Skip pass over the Cashwell. Cashwell looking to drive the right baseline, turns to the left, up and good for Cashwell. It's a 28-25 lead for the Hartley Hawks.
I don't know the terminology, but when a coach expects you to play big and then you actually come out and play big, there's nothing better that you can come out and do as a player. I mean, the coach expected her to step up, and she stepped up big time.
There was a three-shot wide open by Reagan Gray for Jonathan Alder that was missed and rebounded by Hartley.
And now they're giving their senior the ball to go one-on-one. I mean, you can't be mad at that.
Yeah, but Jonathan Alder seemed to be prepared for that and forced a jump ball. No foul. And possession appears to go to Alder. Actually, they called a foul. They called a foul on Cashwell. And so Jonathan Alder will take possession underneath their opponent's basket. Full court press still with the Hartley Hawks.
You have to pass out of the press. There you go.
There you go. And that is Reagan Gray. And as our analyst here, Candace said you got to pass through it, and they did, and got an easy bucket off that.
And Kiki, I like her movement, but a little too much dribbling. I mean, you have favorable matchups with other players on the floor. Get the ball out and get your teammates involved to get them open looks. I believe she can do it, so that's why I'm expecting her to do a little bit more. It's not a criticism, but she has a ball in her hands. If you have it dribbling outside, drive to the basket to create some contact or get the other players involved. They have a 1-point lead, so in order to break it open, which I think that they can do, she's going to have to be way more aggressive and intentional with what she's doing with the basketball.
Well, Cashwell just took a wide open three and missed that for Hartley. Ball went out of bounds. She's just been substituted. And once again, Jonathan Alder seems to have handled the press a little better and was prepared for that. Ball's moved around. Good pressure defense there by number 4, Anaya Thorne. And there's a three-point shot made by Jonathan Alder. And that's Plattfoot. She's hit 4 threes if my statistics are on par, and she has 11 points.
They needed somebody to step up, and she's did. I mean, they're literally face guarding Ferrito, and if Evan's going to knock down three-pointers, there you go. And my new favorite player, Cashwell, is just taking advantage of her matchup and taking the ball to the basket.
We're all tied here with 2:36 to go here in the third quarter. Here's a three-point shot by Jonathan Alder. Missed. No. Brandewee with a physical rebound. She looks to push. Outlet to Kiki. Oh, couldn't handle it. Jonathan Alder back the other way, and they look to push. Hartley back on defense. There's a cut, and that is Ferrito on the block. Nice feed. Nice feed from the right wing to her on the cut. And we have a 32-30 game. Pioneers by a bucket.
Turnovers. I mean, this is win or go home. These are, a competition level is nearly equal. The score is only 2 points. You can't let go of easy turnovers that leads to buckets. And especially for a player who's struggling, you can't allow her to get easy buckets as well. Yeah,
and Nia Thorne just tried to put an entry pass to the opposite block from the opposite wing. And that's never going to be successful. There's a back cut by Ferrito for Jonathan Alder, and she lays it up and in, and there's a timeout now by Hartley.
And the momentum shifted in a second. They were able to pass out of the press, and now they're taking that same kind of mentality to the half court. As you saw, a nice back court cut. They're playing Mary Ferrito face to face, and they're playing her tight, like she's right in her jersey, which is a prime real estate for her to go back door, and they found her easy. So Hartley is going to have to lift their momentum. To me, I've said it before, they're like on an 8. They're going to have to go to a 10 if they want to win. So they have to up their pressure a little bit. They're going to have to take care of the ball. And Alter, I can't be mad. They can do what they've been doing. They've had the lead nearly the entire game. Whenever they've needed shots, they got them. Anytime Mary needed to make a basket, she has. She's still being active. To me, I would be dead tired if I was her due to all the activity that she has to do, but her motor is still going. So for Alter, keep doing what you're doing, responding to whatever Hartley throws at you. But for Hartley, I need them to turn up the pressure way more.
Yeah, well, funny you said you'd be dead tired. I have seen Mary Ferrito tugging her shorts occasionally in between dead balls, so she is working her tail off. She's got 15 of the 34 points for the Pioneers, and so she's definitely a heavy part of their offense.
She has to score most of the points. She has to guard the other team's best player. She has to be the facilitator, but I don't want to give her all the credit. Evan Plattfoot has knocked down some some big shots, some big three-pointers. So her teammates are playing hard. Even though it may not show up on the scoreboard, this is a team effort that has them with this 4-point lead.
So Bella Parker, they're running a pick and roll with Brandewee, and Brandewee puts it in. That was a nice executed play out of the timeout by Hartley, and it's a 2-point game once again.
That's as best as you can ask for. They have to get Brandewee the ball. She has 6 points. We talked about her height advantage, so do whatever they can to get her some open shots down low.
So there's a steal. Oh, steal back by Jonathan Alder. Back-to-back turnovers between each team. And there's Plattfoot for 3, and she knocks down another one. I think that's her 5th of the game. That's her 4th, I'm sorry. 37-32, 29 seconds left here in the third quarter. The Pioneers by 5.
Shooters shoot, and Plattfoot has a hot hand right now, so look for her. Don't give her open shots, but at the same time, her keep shooting it.
Here's Cashwell with a shot missed and put back in by Brandewee. 37-34, 10 seconds left in the third quarter. Hartley looking to press. 5 seconds left here in the third quarter. Brandewee tips it out of bounds. 1.2 seconds left here in the third quarter. 37-34. Pioneers. Hartley looks to sub, and they're bringing in number 15, Emery Minnick, in for Kiki. It looks like they're going to give Kiki a blow before starting the fourth quarter, taking advantage of that dead ball. And Jonathan Alder gets the ball in, but that shot would not have counted. And after 3 periods, it's the Jonathan Alder Pioneers 37, the Bishop Hartley Hawks 34.
And going forward, as we get some shots at the Alder's huddle to go into the fourth quarter for Alder, to me, any suggestion is for them to keep doing what they're doing. Alder responded to every single shot that every single strategy move that Hartley's thrown at them when they needed big buckets. If it was Plattfoot, she knocked down a 3. If it was Ferrito to get some open looks at the basket, they're doing everything that they're supposed to do to stay in this game and have a 3-point lead. For Hartley, again, I don't want to sound too repetitive, but they need to turn up their motor and the intensity. I suggest them not to slow the ball down, but to get it to Brandewie. And then for Kiki, especially if she's going to have the ball in her hands for most of the fourth quarter, she needs to be aggressive and she needs to be intentional with where she's going and what she's doing with the ball. And I think they can come back and win this game.
I mean, what I like with Jonathan Alder is that, you know, Hartley definitely understands that Ferrito is the center of their offense, but she's not been forcing shots and she's been passing it around. And her teammate Plattfoot has been knocking down the shots. When you're double teamed, that pass out of the double team usually leads to a easy shot for a teammate, and we're seeing that. There's Kiki on the drive, missing no, tipped up and in. Wow, that was quite impressive.
A floater with the tip. Now, that's my favorite shot.
That's interesting.
But we'll see on the replay what actually happened. She shoots it. Maybe that was a
Cashwell. Could have been Cashwell with
Cashwell or Kiki. It was a double team tip in, but the bucket counts.
One way or another, we got a 1-point game here with 7:39 to go in the game, at least in regulation. I think Jonathan Alder's biggest lead was 8 early in the first quarter. And it's been within a 2 to 3 point game most of the way. There's a steal by Hartley. That's number 11, Morgan Donnelly, with the steal.
Great defense for Hartley, but now they're going to have to execute on the offensive side.
Well, look at the post. Brandewie's really looking to establish position down at the right block. They did try to get it into her, but good defensive play by Jonathan Alder to knock it out of bounds. Hartley the inbounds on their right side. They look to get it into Brandewie and no good. A turnover.
Intentional. This is the time where you have to make great plays, great passes. If you don't see it open, get it to a player that is. You have to be your presence of mind has to be sharp at this point in the game.
Well, the beauty of this game is we got a even matchup, and there's Ferrarita with a 3 and missed. No. Ball kicked around and out of bounds. Possession to Hartley. But this is exactly what you want in a district final. 1-point game. 6:43 left in the fourth period. It's pretty exciting. So Hartley looking to bring it up, and they got a spin move. Brandewie at the blocks, looking to lay it up and in, and she puts it in with a chance for a 3-point shot, or the 3-point play, I'm sorry, the old-fashioned way.
I'm not mad at that pass. It was a little risky for my taste, but again, they got it down to Brandewie. She has a height advantage. They didn't see him send a double team. She gets the and one. If she knocks this down, they have a 2-point lead. So that's exactly what you want going down the stretch.
And she hits the free throw, and Hartley is now up by a deuce. 6.5 to go, just over 6.5 to go here in the last period of play. Here comes Ferrarito, just dribbles through the press, drives down, blocked by Brandewie.
Tries the Euro.
Here's Plattfoot for 3 on the corner, and she knocks down off a loose ball. She has been red hot all game.
If Alder pulls this one out, they need to carry Plattfoot on their shoulders because she's been keeping them in this game. Anytime they needed a basket, she's giving them a 3.
Yeah, and she's leading the team with 17. And now there's a foul by Hartley. I mean, this game has gone back and forth. You could tell the intensity has picked up. 40-39, Jonathan Alder. 6:04 left. Alder looks to bring it in. Off a screen, high screen. Here's a 3-point shot from the baseline, knocked in by number 5. That is Katie Hooley, a senior. And now it's a 43-39 game.
And that's what you don't want. Now you have Alter. You have to pay attention to Frico. You have to pay attention to Plattfoot. Now they're getting another player to knock down threes. This is not what you want to see if you're Hartley.
It looks like every possession is going to count here. And look at Brandewee working hard. I mean, she is really working the glass. There's a pass to Brandewee, and she's fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2.
And there you see here Bella Parker trying to initiate some action, taking it strong aggressively to the right side, but finds Brandewee. Doesn't get it to go, but obviously has the opportunity to knock down 2 free throws to cut into this lead up a little bit. Again, for Hartley, I need them to get some kind of strategy, maybe running a set play the next time down the floor, but it seems as if they're unsure about what to do and where to go with the basketball. So you got 5 minutes left, 5 minutes 22. You have to be intentional and you have to be specific in where you're going with the ball.
Well, she hit both free throws, and those are huge. You know, when you can score points with the clock stopped in a tight game like this, that can make a big difference. And so here's a full court press by Hartley. Ferrarito gets it over the timeline. She drives it, and there's a block by Brandewee. Brandewee is asserting herself on both ends of the floor. The 6'3" junior is starting to show why her height matters.
Yeah, and offensively, I don't know if like we said, Mary has had she's got a lot of steps in those legs tonight. That's when you take it at her and try to draw the foul. Don't try to shoot over a 6'3" player with probably even longer wingspan.
So there's a screen. They're running a weave at the top. Brandewee at the top of the key to Kiki on the right wing. Pass to Brandewee. There's a cutter. Oh, reverse layup by Cashwell. Good shot, but just didn't make it. Rebound Jonathan Alder as they look to push.
She seems to be the one that was making some kind of movement to the basket.
Here's Ferrarito for 3. Rimming no. Rebound Hartley. It's Bella Parker.
And that's what Hartley is going to have to do. There's a little too much standing on the outside. They're going to have to get some movement, and I think that's the reason why Coach Dennis called a timeout. Lexi Cashwell on that last possession was the only player that moved to the basket. She backcourt cut. She tried to get the reverse layup. It didn't go. But nearly all of their offensive play in this fourth quarter has been just them dribbling around. The few times that they got points on the board is when they got it down to Brandewee. Either they do that or the guards are going to have to get something going to the basket. You just can't dribble on the three-point line. Not now.
I mean, the last time I think Coach for Hartley called a timeout, they ran a pick and roll at the foul line extended to Brandewee, and that was cleanly executed. Let's see if she's in the play on the setup here.
Yeah, and for Alter defensively, I would suggest that they just keep doing what they're doing. I mean, they're not getting any movement towards the basket. Yes, Brandewee has had a lot of success. She's being way more active on not only the offensive end, but the defensive end. But I don't have any suggestions where Alter's playing. It seems as if they're playing their game. They don't seem out of sorts. It looks like they're comfortable being in this close game. But if Hartley is going to pull this out, they have to get something going.
So let's see what they do out of the timeout. They are inbounding on the near side of us, on their end of the floor. 4:19 left here in the game, at least in regulation. And they're running a high ball screen, the foul line. And there's a block of their own. That's Ferrito with the block. Hartley does retain possession.
I'm not mad at that either. It was towards the basket, and it was a shot at the basket, and it wasn't just dribbling around on the three-point line. So that was a good move by Kiki.
Here's Brandaway at the foul line. Takes a jumper. No. Rimming around. And we got a foul called on the loose ball, and that is on Morgan Donnelly of Hartley, and Jonathan Alder were inbound underneath the Hartley basket. So here comes the press again. Alder seems to be able to break it this time. They've definitely adjusted well for that. Here's a three-point shot. Up and missed by Reagan Gray of Jonathan Alder, and Hartley takes the rebound and brings it down with a chance to tie or take the lead with a three. There's Brandaway in the post, and unfortunately she shoots an air ball.
But when your big girl comes down the floor and posts up and waves to it, I don't care how the shot ends up. You get her the ball. And if you're going to ride with her going into the fourth quarter, that's exactly the kind of intention that you're supposed to play with. So I like that post up by Brandaway.
Oh, and there's a layup by Plattfoot.
But maybe not that defensive lapse.
Here's a quick three by, who was that? That was number 12, Lexi Cashwell.
Great pass by Bella Parker with that offensive rebound.
And Brandaway puts it in on the off the rebound and pass. It's a one-point game or one-possession game. Under 3 to go here in Capital in the first district final. Oh. And there were a lot of shots opportunities there for Jonathan Alder right underneath the bucket, and they couldn't finish it.
There's a lot of huffing and puffing. I know these girls are tired, but this is to move on. So you have to suck this up for the last 2 minutes and 50 seconds and get one of those shots to go. And defensively, that's way too many offensive rebounds for Alter. So Hartley's going to have to buckle down and box some people out.
Here's Ferrito for three. No good. She had a great look there from the left wing. Just couldn't knock down the shot.
Couldn't knock it down, and if they're not going for Federito, give it to Plattfoot to knock down that shot, or pump fake and just take it off the dribble. She can. She has a nice mid-range game. She can finish. So if it's not falling, Federito could take the ball herself.
Brandaway at the foul line extended, looking for some of the pass. She looks to drive now. Ooh, it looks like she got away with the double dribble. Here's Brandaway in the post. She looks to lay it up and in, and we have a tie ball game with 2:20. Brandaway is really taking control here in the fourth quarter.
Well, that was another instance where where Brandaway posted up strong and put the smaller player on her back and spent straight to the basket and had a relatively easy shot. That's what you want to see. And if that's the move, I say do that every time down the floor.
Yeah, she's getting position whenever she wants down there at that block. And the reach-in foul by number, let's see, that would be number 11. It looks as if that is Morgan Donnelly for Hartley with the reach-in foul. Hartley to inbound underneath her bucket, minute 58 left. All square here in the fourth quarter. Here's a cut, Brandaway with the block. Ferrito, no. Rebound,
that was nice
Hartley.
Defensive play by Brandaway, keeping her hands straight up.
Here comes Hartley with a chance to take the lead here on this possession. I mean, this is exactly what you want a district final to go down to the wire. These teams are playing hard, and these girls look gassed, Candace.
They do look a little tired, but it's 1 minute, 41 seconds left. I wonder how many timeouts, I don't know if I can see it up here, how many they have left, but that's the second time where Hartley's come down the floor where all their players have been standing around the key and outside the three-point line with no movement towards the basket. So I expect this once again. If it was me, get a backdoor cut to Brandaway or just clear out her side of the floor, make sure the double team doesn't come, and get her the basketball in the post if nobody else is going to make a move to the basket. If not, get a cut, have Lexi cut in the backside, do a backside screen to the basket as well, and maybe Brandon Wee can pass her the ball if they shoot her a double team. So they have some options, but I'm just not a big fan of them just standing around with no movement with 1 minute and 41 seconds to go in a district final.
And that's probably why Coach Dennis made the timeout. You asked about timeouts, and it looks as if Hartley has 1 remaining while Jonathan Alder has 3. Minute 41 to go, all square. Hartley with the ball coming out of the timeout. And let's see what Coach Dennis draws up on the wax board. If it was me, I would be, I'd have Brandewie in the play. Here we go, minute 30 left. Hartley running a weave at the top of the key. Oh, a turnover. Here comes Ferrarito for Alder all the way. Lays it up and a miss. Oh, they got a foul on the floor. Ferrarito had a point-blank layup, and unfortunately she could not finish it.
That was great hustle by Bella Parker. Even though she got the turnover on the other side, she didn't give up on the play and did one of my favorite moves as a defender, got enough speed to run in front of her to disrupt that fast break layup. So now Alder is going to have to make these 2 at the free throw line, but a great heads-up play by Bella Parker.
So this is a 1-and-1 here for Jonathan Alder. First one up and no good. Rebound. Jonathan Alder, number 22, Ellie Heisler with the rebound, and she is fouled, and now she'll get a chance to shoot a 1-and-1.
And Ellie Heisler was a player I talked to Coach Allen about before the game. He said she was their X factor. She doesn't have the height, but she's very physical, and they can count on her at any time. And as you see, she's still battling down in the 4th quarter to get them some extra possessions.
So in that one possession, Candace, they had 2 1-and-1 opportunities and couldn't knock down either. And Hartley once again has a chance. Skip pass. Kiki.
Not the biggest fan of that pass. It's the second time I've seen it.
No, not at the top of the key. You're throwing to the post. There's less than a minute to go here. We're all square.
They got to make a move to the basket. Let's go.
I'm interested to see what their setup. They've definitely got them spread out. I'm wondering if they're playing for the last shot or they're going to call a timeout with under 30 seconds. Here's Kiki to Bella Parker. Here's Parker. Yeah, they look out of sorts. Oh, they got a foul. There's a foul on Jonathan Alder, and that is on number 5, Katie Hooley. But that's only the 4th team foul for Jonathan Alder.
Yeah, once again, I don't know if they're unsure about where to go, if they're trying to get the last second and not give Alter a chance with the basketball, and they missed those 2 1-and-1s like you said. But at the same time, you got to initiate the action. Like, let's go.
Yeah, this is exciting here. We got 30 seconds, under 30 seconds left. It's all tied. It looks as if Coach Dennis is wanting them to play for the last shot. It's either overtime or win. And you got Ferrarita guarding Kiki McElrath. 13 seconds, 12 seconds, 11, 10 seconds. They got to go. Somebody's got to set a pick. Here we go.
Go.
5 seconds left. Here's the drive. There's a foul called. Actually, that's not a bad play by Jonathan Alder. They are not in the bonus. 1.2 seconds. That ball is going to be side out.
And
Hartley.
As you see on the replay, again, it was 6 seconds left. She's had the ball dribbling outside for nearly 45 seconds. She should have went way sooner than that, and you called it. Somebody should have taken a pick, or she has enough handles to take Ferrito one-on-one, and the move should have been made way beforehand. That was a good foul by Alter, but it was kind of a bailout foul because they could have got the possession if they would have just hold on to the ball and got a jump ball. But I'm not a fan of that last possession by Hartley at all.
No, I mean, they're either playing to go into overtime or for the win. I don't mind the strategy, Candace. I just don't like the execution.
Yeah, 45 seconds is a long time, and that's too long to be dribbling on the outside. if you're sure about your defense, and it's not like Alder is knocking down every shot. They missed 2 1-and-1, so you were confident if you fouled them and they go to the free throw line. But you have to have something to the basket. You can't wait until 4 seconds left to then make a move. But we'll see what they can do here with 1.2 seconds left.
If it was me, I'd look to have Brandewee just establish herself in the post. 1 second left, catch and turn. Here it is.
Oh, mishandled it.
Nope. And we go to overtime at the end of regulation. It's 45-45 here in the first of 2 district finals here at Capital University.
And then you go here to the period +1, and then it automatically put your time up there for you.
TT Murphs is a proud supporter of Bishop Hartley High School and is proud to sponsor today's game by providing the crew with food. Make sure you check them out Mondays for half-price pizza. TT Murphs is located at 2996 East Livingston in Columbus. You can visit them online at ttmurphs.com or call them at 614-231-2996. This year's Score On Air hoodies and t-shirts were provided by the Brick League. Brick League offers many services to help the surrounding community, including training, apparel design, leagues, and much more. Visit them today at wearebrick.com. So Candace, we got 4 minutes on the clock here for overtime, 45-45. So we got some free basketball. Who's got enough energy in this game to pull it out? Win or go home?
It's win or go home, so I'm not concerned about their energy. I think they'll pull from a deep place to be able to competitive. If I'm Alder, I'm doing the same thing I've been doing all game, playing tough defense, sticking with the intangibles, perhaps knock down some free throws because they had 2 that they could have made that ultimately could have won them this game, but keep doing what they're doing. Every time Hartley does something, they respond really well. But for Hartley, they have to be better offensively. If they want to win this district final, they have to get going on the offensive end and have some kind of intention going to the basket.
Well, Hartley gets the ball here to start the overtime period. People in foul trouble. Bella Parker has 4 for Hartley. That seems to be the only one. Actually, number 22 for Jonathan Alder, Ellie Heisler, also has 4. So one more foul by either one of those ladies and they will be out of this game. So this is interesting as well. Hartley is again dribbling at the top. And it seems pretty stagnant. Now they run a weave. There's Kiki at the top of the key being guarded by Mary Ferrito. She looks to take a step back 3 and oh! That was a heck of a shot. That was ice cold by Kiki McElrath.
If Kiki McElrath can make that shot constantly, do that at regulation. The shot was right there 101, but she got it to go. They're up 3. You can't be mad at that.
You cannot be mad. There you go. The ball's ripped around. Defense for Hartley causes a turnover, and here they come with a 3-point lead. Less than 3 minutes to go here in the first overtime period. Kiki looks to settle down her Hartley Hawks team.
You can tell I'm not a patient ball player. I like go, go, go.
Oh, Bella Parker gets away with a bad pass picked up by Morgan Donnelly. And they get it to Bella Parker off to Kiki. And they're running a two-man weave at the top of the key.
Now, if the strategy is get it to Kiki and let her work, she's going to have to work and get off a quality shot. But be intentional.
If they're looking to kill some time, that's a forced shot. But there's Cashwell to Brandewee, no good. Now that's Cashwell, I'm sorry. That was Morgan Donnelly with the first offensive rebound. Cashwell with the second. And now we got a timeout. These ladies are tired.
Kiki McElrath is only a junior. One suggestion that I have for her, if she develops a spin move to her game, it'll do her wonders. She took her strong, but what happened, she tried to jump stop and do a little fadeaway and allow Frito to get back into position. But if she's able to spin back to the basket and do the floater in the middle of the key, she'll be unstoppable with that shot next year. She's only a junior and she's showing some really good things, but that last play was just a small force and got them a little out of order, and that's why Coach Dennis called another timeout.
Well, the interesting here is that, as I look at the foul situation, Jonathan Alder has 3 ladies with 3 fouls and 1 with 4, and they only have 5. They have 5 personal fouls as a team. If they're going to get them to the free throw line, if Hartley's going to dribble out.
And now you see really quick on the replay, Kiki McElrath necking down that step back three-pointer. She has that in her game all the time. So if she can make that shot, keep shooting it, but be intentional when you go. That's my message to her.
Well, the interesting thing is, it's going to finish my thought here before that replay. You know, if they want to put Hartley in the one-on-one, they're going to have to foul, and they've got some ladies that have foul trouble. And they need to at least make 2 more fouls to get them in the bonus. Less than 2 minutes to go, and Hartley seems to content to dribble out some of the time.
See how there's no bodies in the way? This can be a good look too. It doesn't always have to be the same side.
And I expect Kiki to come get the ball back.
Here's Brandewee. Everything's above the foul line here for Hartley. And clearly they're doing some type of organized stall. They're not looking to shoot. Jonathan Alder is going to have to push the envelope here to force them to do something. We got 1:15 left here in the first overtime. And there we go. There's our first foul. Foul by Bella Parker. She's a little ginger coming up. That foul is on Reagan Gray, and that might be it for her. Actually, that's her 4th. I'm sorry. So now Jonathan Alder has 2 players with 4 fouls.
And as Alder calls a timeout, I guess I got a hold on what Hartley's strategy is, but then when it's time to make a move, you still have to be sure they're passing around between Bella Parker and Kiki McElrath. They're just keeping it going. If they can hold on to it for 1 minute and 8 seconds, then they're district champions. However, if they're going to need a shot, they're going to have one set play within this strategy that they have that they can go to, or go-to play that they can always have if things break down. And that's the one thing missing from what I see from this strategy. But they're up 3. It's 1 minute left. If they can keep this going for the rest of the game, that's cool. But going forward, as the competition gets tougher, they're going to have at least one go-to set play down the stretch.
Yep, and you know what? Jonathan Alder may not let them do that. This is going to come down to some free throw shooting for Hartley, as long as they have the lead. The next foul on Jonathan Alder will put them on the line for a 1-and-1. And that may be the strategy that Coach Eggleston for Jonathan Alder chooses to do.
And if I were him, I would do it anyway. I mean, if you get them in a 1-and-1, whatever happens outside of a miss and a rebound from Hartley, Alder would get the ball. And that's what they need at this point. They need to get the ball back.
So here we go. Hartley takes over the timeline. There's a trap on Kiki. There's some good defense by Jonathan Alder. And they force a jump ball. A jump ball. Jonathan Alder forces a jump ball, and the possession arrow does go to the Pioneers.
Well, didn't see that one coming. That was a great. We were thinking they were doing something defensively, what they can do. Throw a trap at Kiki while they're dribbling, and ultimately got a jump ball, and now they have the opportunity to score.
Yep, they got a possession here, so they can either tie it or cut it to 1 on this
Get it
possession.
to flat foot.
Less than 1 minute left here in the first overtime. 48-45 Hartley. Here's a drive by Jonathan Alder. No rebound. 41 seconds. A forced 3. No good. Rebound Hartley. And there's a foul on by Jonathan Alder's Katie Hooley, which would send Kiki McElrath, to the line for a 1-and-1 with 36.9 seconds left.
And maybe chalk that up to Alder just not having the ball for a large part of the game down the stretch here. But they had the opportunity to pull the ball all the way out. You have enough time on the clock to get something going, perhaps get Farico going to the basket, or as I want, get Platfoot a ball so she can launch another 3 ball.
That's a huge free throw there by Kiki as it makes it a 2-possession game with 36.9 seconds left in the overtime. 49-45 Hartley. Second free throw miss, no good, but still a 2-possession game and a timeout by Jonathan Alder with 34.5 seconds left. This year's Score on Air hoodies and t-shirts were provided by Brick League. Brick League offers many services to help the surrounding community, including training, apparel design, leagues, and much more. Visit them today at wearebrick.com. With 35.5 seconds left here at game one of 2 of the district finals tonight here at Capital University. Hartley Hawks have a 49-45 lead. Jonathan Alder to bring the ball in. They don't need a 3 initially.
They don't, but you're down 4. So if it's a 3 they get, shoot it, but they need to go as soon as they get it. They don't have a lot of time to waste. Hopefully they can get fouled on a 3-point shot. That'll be a perfect scenario, but they're going to have to get a shot up, I say, in the next 6 to 10 seconds, and then force another turnover on the defensive side. But Alter has to get a shot up soon to break a 4-point lead with 34.5 to go.
Yep, both teams are in the bonus. There's still 1-1. It's not the double bonus. So each common foul is going to put each team on the line. Jonathan Alder to inbound on the Hartley side of the court. There's some good intensity here with the crowd. They get it into Plattfoot. Plattfoot to Mary Ferrarito. She's got to hustle. 30 seconds left here. He passes it to Heisler. Ooh, Jonathan Alder got away with a travel.
Plattfoot.
Plattfoot had a nice look and missed it. And a foul's called as Hartley rebounded the ball.
You couldn't ask for a better scenario. They got away with a massive travel call that was missed by the referees, but they got it over the Plattfoot, who's had the hot hand. She has 20 points tonight. Most of them, if not all, were 3-pointers. They could have used that for her to knock that one down, but unfortunately it didn't go, and now Hartley's back on the free throw line.
And this is Morgan Donnelly shooting a 1-and-1 with 19.7 seconds, 49-45, Hartley. First shot up, no. Rebound around, and Hartley rebounds the ball, and another foul. Jonathan Alder could not clean up the missed free throw, and who's coming to the line? Oh,
Cashwell.
Lexi Cashwell, the senior.
And she played big tonight. She has 14 points right now with an opportunity to add to her total, make that 15. But her coach needed her to step up. Again, I asked who was going to be their X factor. He said their senior, and she's played extraordinarily big today.
Yep, 5-point lead. This is Hartley's biggest lead of the game. 6-point lead. 2-possession game. 15 seconds. Token pressure by Hartley. Looking to get they need a shot quickly. There's a 3-pointer by Hartley, or Jonathan Alder. Missed. No. Hartley with the rebound. Bella Parker. And that's it. Hartley, 51-45, and they are district champs here in game one of 2 in the Division II district finals here for Central Ohio. I mean, looking at the summary here, Hartley had three players in double figures.
Kiki McElrath, Lexi Cashwell, and Ella Brandaway. They played big today and scored when they needed to. Not really for sure what they were doing down the stretch, but it worked, and you can't get mad. Whatever's going for you, and if the coach saw that Kiki could take people off the dribble and decided to put the ball in her hands, he owes a big thank you to the second half that Brandaway had. There was a couple of times she came down to the box and was just intentional and put the smaller player on her back, was able to get an and one, was able to get to a free throw line, and then to my favorite player today was Cashwell. I mean, how the coach was describing her, she reminded me a lot of me. She had to guard the other team's best player, but she had a tendency not to be offensive minded, and he needed her to step up. And she was really aggressive today and was confident taking the ball to the basket when needed.
Yeah, for the other side, Jonathan Alder, they led for most of this game. I mean, they definitely had a nice pace to their game. They definitely had good control. I thought in the fourth quarter that Ella Brandewie for Hartley decided to play with a little bit more intensity, and a couple of her buckets of.
Yeah, and to add on a little bit about that, yeah, Alter, it seems that they played their game. I think what hurt them was the strategy that Hartley put in. They just didn't get enough offensive shots in that fourth quarter. And, Plattfoot was knocking them down in the third quarter most of the game. And Mary Farico, who's obviously a big-time scorer, wasn't able to get going. She had a tough assignment in guarding Kiki most of the game. But they played really, really well. But unfortunately, combined with the strategy and then Ella Bandaway stepping up in that third quarter, they just couldn't quite pull it off.
Yeah, I mean, I remember stating that when Jonathan Alder had 34 points, that Mary Ferrarito had 15 of them. Well, they had 45 points. They finished with 45 points, and she still only had 15 points. So I don't know if she was worn down.
Well, a lot of her shots weren't going in. I mean, that's a lot of it too, but I think both of those things are combined. When you're ripping and running the entire game, she couldn't really rest on the defensive side. She did have to have a lot of the ball handling abilities. When they couldn't break the press, they had to give her the ball. Combine that with then trying to shoot three-pointers and then take contact going to the basket. Maybe she got worn down a little bit, but in the second half, yeah, the ball just wasn't going in for her. So combined with everything Hartley was doing, she put up a valiant effort, and she shouldn't be disappointed whatsoever in the way she played. She had a lot on her plate, but just a little too much to overcome today.
Yeah, so with the Hartley win, they moved to the Region 6 tournament, the regional semifinal tournament at Mansfield Senior High School versus the Paulding District winner on Tuesday, March 1st, 6 p.m., and they will be the home team in that game. And so they got another game to look forward to here in the postseason as district champs.
And as the districts go and the state tournament goes, the competition is always going to get tougher. There are a few things that Hartley can obviously straighten up on. The coach talked about defense and pace of game. I think the game Alter's pace was good in that second half, especially in that third quarter. I think Hartley was playing the way that they like to play. Lexi Cashwell is going to have to continually to step up and play big and be offensive minded. I expect going forward, Bella Parker is going to have to get off some three-point shots. She is one of the smaller players, but she can knock down a three ball. I've seen them a lot this year. And then Kiki, I love her game. She has all the moves. I just want her to be a little bit more intentional. Not the fan of the pass from the top of the three-point line down to Randaway. Not my favorite, but when it works, it looks so pretty. But just be more intentional and specific with where she's going and what she's doing. She has all the moves. She's a junior, and if she plays really, really big and plays under control, Hartley can go really far.
Yeah, I mean, as a, obviously we had to maintain a level of professionalism, but as a fan here, this was a fun game to watch. Hartley moving forward, from my observations, if they can make their bunnies. I mean, they missed so many bunnies in that first half. This game might have been they might have had a little bit more of a lead throughout, but you have to credit Jonathan Alder with the defense there and forcing those misses.
Yeah, and I chalk that a lot up too. It has to be a difficult thing. Your first two sectional games, both of these teams blew out their opponents by like 30, 40, 50, 60 points. And then had relatively easy wins in their district semifinals. And then to get to the district's final, and you have to turn it up to such a degree because the level of competition just rises super high. They were just trying to figure themselves out in the first half, but we couldn't ask for a better game to call. But that's just the nature of the beast. But now for Hartley, they had a nice competition against Alder, and going forward, it's only going to get more difficult. I think Cincinnati.com had them ranked 8th in the state so far, so there's a lot of expectation with them as well. But I like this test for Hartley. I think it was a great test. They played against a really strong, pesky team, a defensive-minded team. And so hopefully going forward, they'll be ready to go.
Well, Jonathan Alder came in here at 19-5, and they were 10-0 in conference. So, that's that's a team that won a lot of games. But you have to give it to Hartley. And I would have to say, if there was a player of the game, I would give that to Ella Brandewy in this game. I know Kiki made some key shots, but I think her in the fourth quarter, because she had, I think, 2 or 3 blocks on the defensive side, in addition to her offensive prowess on the block. So, if they're going to move forward, they need to continue to use her strength as a 6'3" player. Certainly, she's a volleyball player, as her dad was on here at halftime. But that size, they need to utilize that more.
Yeah, your player of the game was Brandewy. Mine was, she's getting her medal right now, was Lexi Cashwell. It's time to play big when you're not one of the ones that gets a lot of the notoriety. Prefer to come in here, got 16 points. She had to guard the other team's best player. Way to step up big time. So salute to Lexi.
Yeah, and so as we take a look here, Hartley is, Jonathan Alder received their medals as the district runner-up. And now you're seeing the Hartley Hawks get their medals, and subsequently the district trophy and the cutting of the nets here in Capital University, where the Hartley Hawks have won by 6 here in overtime. TT Murphs is a proud supporter of Bishop Hartley High School and is proud to sponsor today's game by providing the crew with food. Make sure you check them out Mondays for half-price pizza. TT Murphs is located at 2996 East Livingston in Columbus. You can visit them online at ttmurphs.com or call them at 614-231-2996. So that's the end of the first game here of 2. Our second matchup tonight will be Bloom Carroll.
Bloom Carroll versus the #1 ranked in the region, Granville.
Granville. I'm sorry, my mind slipped there on that one.
That should be a good one. Bloom Carroll pulled off an upset in their previous win, but they're going to have a tough one going against a team that's, if I have it correctly, Granville was ranked the #1 by Cincinnati.com. They're the top-ranked team in Division II. So they're the team to beat, and if Hartley continue on, and if Granville is able to pull off their next game, they're the team that everybody's shooting for.
So with that, we will wrap up game 1 here today on the Score on Air Network, where the final score here is the Bishop Hartley Hawks 51 and the Jonathan Alder Pioneers 45. And you're listening to girls high school tournament basketball on the Score on Air Network.
The Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation.